Ever since I first saw this, the magical city of Petra in Jordan, it just hasn't left my mind. It's one of the most beautiful, unusual, and iconic cities in the world. But I've learned something surprising. Petra is not the beginning of the story, it's the end. And there's another lost city carved into the rock somewhere near here. I'm hoping to find the hidden origins of one of the greatest cities the world's ever seen.
My name is Albert Lin, and I look at the world in a unique way. I use 21st century technologies to look back into the past.
Check that out, I can actually fly through the secret ancient world.
Lasers that scan deserts, strip away dense jungle canopy, and scour the oceans to uncover the hidden worlds beneath.
We're wading into uncharted waters.
That's what a real lost city looks like. New discoveries in the most awe-inspiring places on Earth.
That's where pixels become reality.
That fill the gaps in our story. Who we are, where we came from, and the wonders we can achieve.
Here we are in the 13th century.
This is carved out of the earth, huh?
This is the new golden age of exploration.
We know their secrets. The people who lived here in this city, well, they were originally nomads, traveling, trading across the Arabian desert, living in tents. And then in a leap, they built this. What happened? I want to find out who they were, where they came from, and what came before all this. New clues about them are being discovered in the desert rocks. My journey was taking me to the deserts of Jordan, once home to the builders of Petra, a nomadic tribe known as the Nabataeans. Deep within that mountain range, high up on one of the plateaus, is the ancient city of Sela. And the only way in is up.
The scanning kit is being loaded up, ready for the expedition. The LiDAR team and I are heading to one of the last fully unexplored Nabataean sites. And Jordan's acclaimed archaeologist, Mohammed Najjar, is leading the ascent.
Marhaba. How are you,
Hi,
my
good
friend?
to see you.
Yeah, it's been too long.
It's a treacherous hike to the top. Mohammed has assembled a team with local knowledge to help us, including surveyor Ahmed Marafi.
Ahmed, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Albert.
Do you reckon it's going to balance?
Hi. Hey, Joe.
Hey, man. How's it going?
Good to see you. Wow.
I've never carried LiDAR kit on a donkey before, or on a horse.
This is high tech meets ancient tech.
Yeah. This you heard. This is the mindset.
Are you ready? Let's go. Yalla. Yalla.
Yalla, my friend, yalla.
I don't know what to expect at the top. What I do know is we're heading to 3,000 feet above sea level, and it's gonna be a tough climb.
It's like a maze.
Yes, it is.
Those steps, are those?
Yes. That's our way up.
Wow.
This is the only way to climb to Sela. There's no other way.
The steps are the first hint that this bare mountain has been shaped by people.
It's gotta be 90 degrees out here right now.
Yeah. This is what we do.
This is like a ancient skyscraper up here. Incredible. You know, it's funny when you walk through here, you can almost sense the path of somebody walking through this same little canyon.
Yeah,
The exact same stairs
exactly.
just 2,000 years ago or more.
So we can smell the history, right?
Well, I smell donkey farts, but this would be an intense commute for a Nabataean.
"1,000 steps, and we're only halfway up the vertical climb. The terrain is brutal, and the questions keep coming.
It just seems like an unbelievable amount of effort to build your world on top of a mountain in the middle of an arid desert. Should we take a break and drink some water, guys? Stay away from the mean donkey. You know, water is like, it's how you live, but this desert is so dry. How do you survive on top of a mountain, surrounded by dirt, and no rivers nearby, nothing to farm? How could you hold out? Feels like we're getting close. This way, huh?
Finally, we reach the top.
Look at these steps, huh?
Yeah, it's the ancient one.
That's incredible. The 360 viewpoint for the entire area. You can imagine that somebody stood here thousands of years ago, keeping an eye out for the rest of their community.
That's why it's a natural fortress.
If this is the place named in the ancient Greek texts, then it was once a treasury for Nabataean silver worth 10 million US dollars in today's money. Its location, a formidable stronghold. But how did this lifeless crop with no water source become home to a city of people? To hunt for clues, we plan to LiDAR scan the whole plateau.
The access to so much of it is virtually impossible.
And it also looks like sheer drops everywhere. I mean, it's deadly, basically, to explore this,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
So hopefully we can go places that wouldn't be safe to go otherwise.
Okay, we're good to go.
This is a very dangerous place to
It's
fly.
a risky location, yeah. We're going to have all eyes on the drone at all times.
This is like super advanced drone flying.
Yeah,
This is super, super expert model.
this is level 10, sure.
It's hard to believe this barren place was once home to hundreds, even thousands of people. If they left any evidence, I'm banking on my technology to find it. "30 miles north of Petra, I'm laser scanning the ancient city of Sela for the very first time. I'm looking for clues, that the nomadic Nabataeans settled here.
Look at this. There's pottery just like falling out of the ground.
That's good indication for people living here.
This is somebody's fingerprint.
Yes, exactly.
My finger fits perfectly, so somebody, that's crazy. You can just feel somebody's fingerprint right here, locked in time. Unbelievable.
The pottery proves people were here, but it's not clear who. It could simply be the guards charged with protecting the Nabataeans' treasure.
Look at this. You got a staircase. Where does it go?
Up.
Probably it's a place to pray.
Yes, absolutely.
You think so?
Yeah.
You look for a high place to be closer to the gods.
So far, all I've found is a piece of pottery and an ancient stairway to heaven.
I guess this is all sandstone, right?
Yes, it is.
So over 2,000 years, the landscape has sort of melted away.
The desert winds and winter rains are eroding the soft sandstone into strange shapes. But I can just make out curious, regular markings in the rocks.
Wow, look around. What are these little holes up here?
Well, actually, this is the traditional Nabataean house. So they were living here. And you can see the marks of the axe that they've been using to carving.
Yes, these are chisel marks. Yes, exactly.
Somebody was just sitting here chiseling away, creating a space for their family, maybe.
Carving caves into dwellings suggests that they spent long stretches of time here.
Look at the beautiful view here, and it's unbelievable. This is the east. The sun will come up. It will be sunny in this part.
The cave's position reveals the reason for the strange, regular markings above the entrance. They're post holes for their tent poles.
You have this, shelter in front of your house.
So they've gone from living in tents to combining tents with living in stone, then.
The evidence is stacking up that homes were created at Sela. But it's hot, exposed, and desert dry, without a single water source on the whole outcrop. No one can survive without water. So how did the Nabataeans? I'm hoping my LiDAR data can help solve the mystery.
So we hiked up here, right?
Yes. Yeah, right there.
It's a lot easier from a computer, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, actually. Yeah, it is. I think this is the way to look at the site, because if you look at small parts, you cannot understand. You need to look at the whole site together, and then you can understand the dynamics.
Looks like it's starting to be shaped by human hands.
No, that's true. That's true. Look at that. Look at this picture.
The LiDAR data reveals water tanks cut into the rock, almost invisible to the naked eye. After 3 days of scanning, we've logged an incredible 51 underground tanks. Here at Sela, it's the first time anyone has uncovered the extent of rainwater harvesting.
You have to channel the water, the rainwater, the runoff from the face of the rock to these cisterns.
We can now estimate that these man-made tanks contain about 200,000 gallons of rainwater, plenty to sustain over 1,000 permanent settlers. It's an exciting discovery.
They were nomads at the beginning. They were like wind, and then there was a shift in their consciousness. They started to be attached to the land. So that's very important moment when they moved from tents to caves.
They're turning the landscape into a home. a permanent home.
Our LiDAR data transforms what we know of Sela. The Nabataeans' ingenuity and knowledge of water enables them to settle, living together in a permanent city here in the dry, rocky desert. It's a stepping stone to Petra. The journey has begun.
You know, I really feel like on this journey of discovery, I'm connecting back in time with the Nabataean people. You know, their travels across shifting sands. Well, eventually they settled, carved a home into solid rock. And with that added security came a new layer of life in the city. And here at Amman, at the Jordan Museum, I'm told that there's a lot more evidence of that evolution from nomad to Petra.
Inside the museum are relics that reveal a spectacular, unexpected leap in the Nabataean story. Finely carved statues that look ancient Greek and Roman. Yet these are Nabataean, gathered from a city that boomed after Sela. These carvings suggest that their architecture is shifting from survival to opulence. Scanning the relics will allow us to fit them back where they belong.
Now let's get the Gemini. So what I have to do is I just have to do a really steady scan. And we're actually using the camera on the data pad that's creating something called structured light. And if I can do it steady enough from that little sweep, generate a mesh and see it's doing it now. Look at that. Wow. And I'll add up a series of these different models to one awesome model. But the Nabataeans never thought this would be happening.
To reunite these relics with their original buildings, I'm back on an ancient Nabataean trading route. One that leads to the ruins of Herbet Ed Daria. Archaeologists are still excavating this city. But it's clear something extraordinary was happening here. My guide is surveyor Ahmad Marafi.
Okay, Albert, this is the Nabataean city.
Wow. This is a new thing. This is a design, a layout that was created by somebody's mind to try something new. We're gonna build walls. Somebody's gonna be over here, and they're gonna have a house over there, and then somebody's gonna have a place to cook over here. Somebody's sitting in a bathhouse right over there.
That's true. And I'm sure they were very happy.
This is a completely new idea. It seems like they were, you know, incrementally moving forward, right? You start out as a nomadic society, and then Sela, you know, that's step one, and then this.
There's another innovation. This city has a central focus, a temple.
Into the temple we go.
The Nabataean kings, they sacrificed the animals here on this altar.
Right there.
Yeah, right there.
Walk me through the process. I'm a Nabataean king. Now I stand here in front of this altar. What happens next?
First, you have to walk around the holy place.
Up here now.
Yeah, up. So we are now on the altar.
So you lay your animal here, and what
Yeah.
happens?
Cut the throat to let the blood go inside these holes.
These little holes,
Yeah.
these are blood holes?
Yeah, this is blood holes.
Blood spilled from animals went down these holes.
That's true.
The statues I scanned at the museum once adorned the facade of this temple. To create a complete vision of this new Nabataean site requires a full digital scan. It's the first time this has ever been done. It's a complex undertaking, demanding detailed scanning from the air and on the ground. Merging the data creates a new vision of this spectacular, long-lost temple. Crowning the temple are the museum relics, back in their original home. This place reveals the evolution from their starter city at Sela. 40 miles away, in Petra, Nabataean builders take city design to a whole new level. I'm heading back to the ancient wonder that is Petra. Here, the Nabataeans put everything they'd learned about creating cities to the test.
Look at that. Just like at Sela, these are post holes for like a veranda. It would have been wood structures, beams coming out here, maybe with some cloth or something to create shade.
With time, as more set up home here, the city swells in size. The money flows in and the architecture becomes more elaborate, incorporating styles seen on their travels.
Like I'm witnessing the transition of the Nabataeans through time, right here.
By the time of Christ, Petra was the beating heart of a thriving Nabataean empire. From here, they controlled the trade routes from south to north and east to west. Their wealth soared, and in Petra, they flaunted it.
I'm in the center of this massive body of water, the Pacific Ocean. Something incredible happened here about 800 years ago. A legendary complex of man-made islands and stone structures built right into the coral reef. That's where I'm headed.
Pohnpei Island, Micronesia, one of the most isolated places on Earth. Almost 1,000 miles from the nearest landmass. It's taken 4 flights and over 28 hours of travel just to get here.
Time to go?
My contact is local historian Gus Kohler.
Thanks, brother.
How was the trip?
Amazing. Yeah, amazing. What is Nan Madol?
Nan Madol was once the residence of the ruling South dynasty, about 600 to 800 years ago. It's an ancient city. You'd be amazed at the know-how that they had to build the city in the water.
I've heard it's an ancient wonder, rivaling Easter Island or Machu Picchu. but very little of it is still visible. So I'm bringing technology that will strip away the mangroves and reveal its scale. It's an explorer's dream.
We're superstitious people. We believe that it's invested by spirits. So we will have to, first of all, go through the king, or the Marquis, as they refer to, and ask for his protection and permission to enter the site.
What do I have to do to get permission?
We will have to do what we call a sakao ceremony.
The sakao root is pounded on a special stone to create a powerful narcotic drink used for religious rituals. I know that other Pacific Islanders use sakao in a similar way.
I have to drink that.
The purpose of our presentation before our king is to ensure that the spirits of our ancestors welcome you when you visit Nan Madol.
All who wish to enter Nan Madol must pay their respects. The spirits we're hoping to appease are those of the Saudalor, the legendary rulers who arrived here 800 years ago and held a mysterious power over the island's population, those who built Nan Madol.
We come here with a feeling of honor to be here in your land.
Thank you.
Ceremony complete. The full power of the sakao drink kicks in.
Yeah, I got you.
I see like double. It's intense. It's intense. But the most important thing is the king of this land said that he protects us, which means we're a go. So tomorrow, it's on. Nan Madol.
This is it, Albert. Welcome to the jungle. We are on sacred grounds right now. You're just beginning to see it's part of the structures.
I've never seen anything like this.
Welcome to Nan Madol.
Only a tiny fragment of the legendary Saudalor city can still be seen. Mangroves choke whatever else remains. Now, new technology can help unlock the secrets of this place. How and why it was built, and just how big it really is.
What is that?
It's incredible, ain't it? I was born here, but every time I come up here, I'm always amazed. Always. This is the main ceremonial center of Nan Madol.
It's a temple to the island's ancient rulers, constructed from pillars of basalt rock. 800 years ago, this place would have been bustling with hundreds of priests, attendants, and the feared Saudalor kings.
Must have been some super-powered humans to build this, huh?
Well, this area was meant only for the elite. It was the only time in our history that we were ruled by one person. Almost like a dictator. So he was able to command all the people on the island to come and assist in the building of Nan Madol.
Look, is that more rocks over there? Is that
Yes,
more of
that's an outer wall. Built all the way to the edge of the reef.
Yeah, you can see the reef breaking right there.
Exactly.
It's massive.
To get to grips with this city in the sea, we need to work out the full extent of it. And that can only be done from above.
I think we have to scan this, you know, with the drone, and maybe we can start to really map out all these different features.
Okay, so this is where we're at right now. There are 90 plus structures, all man-made. From here all the way down south.
All the way to there?
Yes.
Such a huge area.
It is huge.
You can't see anything. It's all mangrove.
Are the mangroves
Yeah.
here 800 years ago?
No, I doubt it. It's been abandoned for a long time, so mangroves just
It
grew.
would have been easier to map it then than it is now.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we have LiDAR, right?
Yeah,
we
yeah,
didn't
for
delete
sure.
the mangroves.
Take it off.
My drone team begin the first of more than 40 planned flights. We're scanning this whole area, almost half a square mile, twice the size of the Vatican City. We want to strip back the jungle canopy and reveal the rest of this city. I'm going back to explore the gigantic building that Gus showed me, to find out more about the people who built this place.
Why is there so little known about the people that built this incredible monument?
The reason there's so little known is because there's not a written system to express ideas. It's through oral tradition, which are
Stories.
Exactly, those are stories handed down generation to generation. And no person can tell the entire story because there's the belief that if they tell the whole story that they will die. They're no longer useful. Here we have a Sakao pouting stone. Remember from the Sakao ceremony with the Nan Marquis? You can tell it because of the circular wear pattern.
So you're telling me that people used to sit around this stone and pound cacao
Right at the entrance to this complex. This is like a gateway sort of ceremony.
It's like a rite of passage in how you get to know people.
And this is the same thing that's been going on for centuries.
Yeah, at least centuries, if not 1,000 years.
Hidden, somewhere under half a square mile of tropical jungle, lies the ancient city of Nan Madol. We're laser scanning the area with LiDAR to create a blueprint of the city, to uncover its structures and help us understand why the Sadalur kings built it.
Hacking through the jungle, taking this massive drone and launching it from every point they could in a methodical grid pattern. The hope here is that you're gonna see Nan Madol as it was originally, before all these trees took over. We're getting a view of the entire site because you can't see it unless you do something like this. This is the LiDAR before the trees have been removed. You ready for this?
Yes.
Look at that. See?
Oh, wow, look at that.
It's crazy, right?
That's another structure for sure.
Do you think there's structures that you've never seen before?
Yes, definitely. Just from this picture, about 10, because, it's really inaccessible.
So with this, we're able to go where you can't go.
Yes.
This is incredible. Do you know, are there stories of this place?
Of course, each structure has a function. This one is the residential area for the Sadalur, so this is where they lived.
You can realize that the entire area is protected by this seawall. What were they defending themselves against?
Not only, I guess, natural elements, but probably people. Up to 2,000 people live here, but these were the rulers.
You can imagine how impressive this would have been. Just the scale, it's amazing. This was happening some 800 years ago.
Exactly.
On this island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
We can now digitally rebuild what Nan Madol may have looked like in all of its glory. A colossal seawall protects over 90 man-made islands, organized into a burial district and a residential zone, with temples and monuments signifying the power of the oppressive Sadalur rulers who lived here. Its ancient construction on an unimaginable scale. But where did those thousands of rocks come from? For centuries, it's been explained by magic. On the far side of the island, is a basalt deposit that may hold the answer.
Is that it?
That's it. That's the baby.
It's a quarry like no other.
It just pokes straight out of the trees.
This is a quarry in the sky.
Maybe this way. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
It's a 400-foot scramble that starts steep and quickly becomes almost vertical.
Be careful, Albert. Some rocks here. Slippery.
This is where they got the rocks from.
Yep.
Pretty intense quarry.
This is the real deal, bro. We're almost there. All right. Up.
50 feet from the summit, we reach what appears to be the main quarry site.
These are unreal. They look exactly like the ones in Nan Madol. The same hexagonal shape.
Yep.
This is like the stone log cabin hardware store
Yes.
for the island. They didn't have dynamite or anything like that
No.
back then. How would they actually break these off?
One of the theories is that you burn wood and you pour water in, it will crack.
Oh, it expands.
Yeah.
So they were like almost like material scientists back then.
Yes, engineers.
How much does one of these weigh?
The typical ones they use at Nan Madol is between 5 to 10 tons. But there are boulders that can weigh up to 50 tons.
How far is Nan Madol from here?
10 miles across the land straight.
10 miles that way?
Yes.
Just doesn't make any sense. Let's go a little further. I'm gonna try to see if I can get up there and get a view.
Okay, good luck.
You're not coming?
I'm not coming.
I'll be right back.
Be careful now.
People came all the way over here to the north side of the island, somehow climbed this mountain, broke off these massive stone pillars, and then transported them across the island. Just like on Easter Island, over 6,000 miles away, people here moved mountains of volcanic rock to build extraordinary monuments that they believed could connect them to the spirits.
This is perfect. You can see everything. The whole area. Maybe I can start to see exactly what route they might have taken with these rocks. No, I'm gonna look on the satellite images. Here. Okay, so I think right here, on top of this mountain. They had to get the rocks all the way over to here, to Nan Madol. I couldn't imagine carrying a 5 or 10 ton boulder over that mountain behind me. Doesn't seem possible at all. Okay.
My view from the summit suggests an alternative route. A trail of mangroves leads straight into the ocean. And we know where there's mangroves, there's water.
The way that would be most logical is they might have broken these boulders off, thrown them down to the bottom of this quarry, and then somehow used the mangroves and the channels to get them out. If they could float them out to sea, maybe they would move them across the inside of that reef where the waves aren't so bad. And then it's a decision. Do you go north, all the way around the island that way, or do you go south? I guess it depends on the winds, the tides, and the distance. And actually, you know, honestly, like, super sophisticated in terms of whatever engineering they had to come up with to make that possible.
We think that the giant basalt blocks of Nan Madol were transported by sea. I'm hunting for evidence that the islanders may have sailed further afield. 20 miles from here is a string of tiny islands called Ant Atoll.
Welcome to Ant.
Thank you. Your family has been on this island for a long time.
Over 100 years. That's what our clan is, the Stingray.
These are awesome. Oh, I need a tattoo.
This area of the island has been abandoned for decades. But as a boy, Rosa remembers seeing unusual stones here.
I don't know how you can find anything with all this undergrowth.
You're starting to see the basalt rocks here, yeah? That is not common for an atoll like this.
These are the same basalt rocks that I saw at Nan Madol. There's no quarry of basalt sitting out here somewhere in this atoll, is there?
There is none.
This isn't the only intriguing remnant here of an ancient civilization.
All right, we're at it.
You found it?
Yeah. If you look, they're flat rocks, overgrown with trees and stuff. But if you brush it off and you take a look at it, it's a cow stone.
Oh, I saw one just like this right at the entrance of Nan Madol. And the first thing I did was sit with the Nan Marquis to a sakao ceremony where stones were pounding just like this to make the sakao. You can see this is so deep. This must have been hundreds of sakao ceremonies.
Oh, yeah.
Thousands, maybe.
Yep.
Where did these stones come from?
I would say Pohnpei.
So somehow the technology that they had in understanding the sea allowed them to bring huge boulders across waves and reefs and miles of ocean just to get here. Is it possible that these were the same people that built Nan Madol?
Has to be. I can't see any other reason why this would actually be here, unless there was a link between here and there. Here's another one, right here, bigger one. I think there probably would have been some type of a settlement here.
20 miles away from Nan Madol, Ant Atoll was home to a huge ritual site, perhaps built by the very same people. It's evidence that Nan Madol had influence that stretched across the waves.
What's really incredible about this is that it's on a tiny speck of sand beyond the barrier reef, which means that what happened here happened elsewhere as well.
There are 25,000 other islands across the Pacific. Trade and culture traveled from island to island. But just how far did this ocean network reach? The settlers ruled for 400 years until they were overthrown. And within those centuries, their seafaring skills took them across the Pacific. This lost city, built on water, is more grand and complex than I ever imagined. A seat of power for the ruling elite, part of a great network of people who traveled north, south, east, and west across the vast Pacific Ocean.
This place that came from a meeting of peoples who sailed across the seas with skill and bravery beyond comprehension. And with them, they carried ideas, creating an ocean continent, in a way, leaving traces of the human spirit in these massive, mysterious stone monuments.
The lost city of Nan Madol. It's more than an archaeological wonder. It's a monument to human possibility.